Hello and welcome to our Analyst Talk Unfiltered. You might know this format. It's an impromptu setup where I turn the table and as an analyst manager, I this time ask the questions and will get hopefully the right answers from the analysts. And my honor today is really to have someone here who is the co-founder of Kaleido Intelligence and, as I always say, is the brain behind the connectivity vendor hub. And we will also later talk about it a little bit. So, Steffen, thanks for being here with me.
No, thank you, Sören, for inviting me. Pleasure, as always, to be talking with you.
Why are analysts like you so important for companies like us in the IoT market?
I think because one of the main aims that we do is to try and talk to various players across the market. So, particularly in IoT, it's a lot of different offerings, different providers on the market, and each individual one of those providers has a certain view, a certain customer base. So what we're doing is bringing all of that insight together and, let's say, trying to provide a complete picture as possible of the industry so that then we can help you and we can have a beneficial exchange of information.
Super. And even to emphasize this a little bit, what do you think are your differentiators at Kaleido Intelligence?
Let's say that we started really with a focus on roaming. So we're GSMA members. We go to events like the Wholesale and Agreement Solutions group meetings to really understand what's happening under the hood. So in terms of IoT roaming, wholesale, we're really good there. In terms of what providers are putting out into the market, why they're putting out into the market, we really go deep in the vendor hub across a 5 months research. So really understanding what providers are bringing to the market and also really understanding what's happening underneath everything that enables that connectivity on the wholesale and retail level.
Yeah. Is there a fun fact that you'd like to share with me about you, about Kaleido?
I don't have a sanitary fun fact that I can project to the world, but in terms of Kaleido. But let's say an interesting fact about Kaleido, and a question we get often is, why do you not have a CEO? And I say that there's 3 founders. I'm one of those founders. Each one of us has a different area of expertise, a different knowledge of the market and how we should go about things. And so far that's worked really well. None of us have had to use the dreaded veto yet, so we're still friends.
SGP.32 is well talked about for, I would say, the last 1 or 2 years in the specification work, also in GSMA, and last year it finally came in the first final version to the market. When do you think and expect first SGP.32 IoT devices coming to the market, and in which segments do you see them?
Well, I mean, obviously it's been a very exciting time for eSIM. A few announcements coming out at MWC as well. We're expecting the first initial commercial deployments towards the end of this year. Small volume, starting to ramp up in larger volumes probably towards the end of next year in 2027. And that's when really the scale will hopefully start to build up. In terms of the verticals, at least when we talk to the different suppliers on the market, they're saying key interest is coming from existing verticals, so things like automotive and energy and utilities. But also, let's not forget that SGP.32 is specifically there to enable eSIM beyond those verticals. So I'd anticipate things like smart cities, manufacturing use cases, much more broadly than ever before will be applicable to eSIM now.
This sounds really like a winning specification then.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, me too. Because eSIM is at the core what we do at G&D. And for me, a very interesting question would be, where do you see eSIM in, let's say, 5 years from now? And especially, consumer and IoT are 2 different animals. I think we need to treat them also a little bit differently.
Yeah, let's start with IoT. So moving towards the back end of this decade, I think we'll start to see, around 2028 or ish, more than half of all new IoT connections will be eSIM enabled. So in that sense, it's kind of becoming de facto for most use cases. On the consumer side of things, the roadmap is a little more accelerated. You've already had a heavy drive from OEMs such as Apple, Samsung, and Google. But also, now more and more devices from Chinese OEMs starting to support smartphones. So it's bringing availability of eSIM to a much wider mass market rather than just premium. Another interesting fact, hopefully, will be that China enables eSIM in smartphones towards the end of this year. So, tremendous level of scale ahead of us now.
Yeah, we are all waiting for this to come.
Yes.
So let's see.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting statement, and not only because of China. I think generally, when we look at your connectivity vendor hub, which is one of your major products which you release year by year, without telling any confidential information, what do you think are the most differentiators between or among eSIM vendors?
It's difficult, right? Because often players look at eSIM and they think, oh, I have eSIM, what else is there to do? But when we look at the enterprise market, they're valuing things like technical flexibility, and they're also aware of emerging risk factors to their business, such as permanent roaming, data sovereignty. And some of them are also looking towards things like QoS, so enhanced performance for their connectivity. So we look towards those capabilities in terms of what providers are offering on the market as key differentiators, as well as other factors such as, can you facilitate a go-to-market more quickly than anyone else? Do you have any defining features that really take into account how to optimize an OTA campaign, for example?
We are not only an eSIM champion. We are also addressing the IoT. And there are some challenges also still for us. So my question to you, how do you perceive G&D in this IoT market? And what do you think, where are we doing good? And probably where we might also need to improve?
I think in terms of the real strength points, G&D as a company, of course, are one of the leaders in terms of remote SIM provisioning. And you couple that with your CMP and orchestration capabilities for, end-to-end lifecycle management of the eSIM. I think that's something that very few other providers on the market can claim. On the other hand, I think as an IoT service provider, IoT MVNO, whatever kind of term you want to use, it's quite a challenging market to be in right now because it's so competitive. And when you look at what's happening on the data monetization side, data is commoditized. So you need to look for new revenue streams and new ways of profitability. So this is a real challenge that we're seeing, not only just yourselves, but in common with other players on the market as well.
Yeah, thank you for this honest feedback.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We come to the additional part of this interview about rapid Q&A.
Oh.
So I ask you a question, and I like to have your answer in the best case either one word or one sentence.
Okay.
Yeah, or 3 words.
All right.
Yeah?
I'll do my best.
Steffen, what is the most promising vertical in the IoT for you?
Manufacturing.
Gen AI, hype or help?
In between, help.
Okay. eSIM in 5 years from now, consumer versus IoT?
Consumer, ubiquitous. IoT, more than half of all new connections.
Satellite connectivity, becoming mass or stay niche?
Niche for now, but an exciting area.
Last question.
Ah.
What is your favorite football club?
I'm ashamed to say Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay. That is good.
Yeah.
Because that is a perfect handover to what we will do now together.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Hopefully I can do better than Spurs.
Yeah, definitely. Would you like to join me?
Let's go.
Come over.
Let's go. All right.
Now, you know the fun part starts, yeah?
Yes.
And I can tell you, Tottenham is a really cool club, because I don't tell you my club. My club is really...
Bielefeld?
Yeah, it's down to the 3rd league right now. Wah! Wah!
I can't believe this.
Hey.
Hey.
Almost in the... Oh! Hey, we have a draw. Steffen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For your time. It was really a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.